This is a really interesting video that has been published by NASA, and all of the references are provided in it, but I'm going to play it. First of all, before I start, let me explain a little bit about the diagram. What we are looking at on the left-hand panel is carbon dioxide concentrations from the South Pole, which is the blue dot, through Hawaii, which is where we first identified carbon dioxide concentrations increasing, all the way up to the North Pole. And you can see, I have started it, you can see the concentrations waxing and waning as time ticks. We're into 1986, July, October, January, and it's just going round and round. On the right panel is a map of the world where you can see which stations are contributing data to the graph, as well as a graph of the carbon dioxide concentrations. One of the most noticeable things about this trace is that the right-hand side of it, the northern hemisphere, especially from around about 50 to 60 or 70 degrees north, there is a lot of fluctuation in the carbon dioxide concentrations. And watch carefully, as it goes through July, it drops down. As it goes up through January, it increases. July, lower concentrations. January, high concentrations. Low, high. And what we're seeing is the breathing of the atmosphere. In the band, around about, well, just to the north of about 40 degrees north, there are a large swath of boreal forest, which are deciduous. And in the summer, they're taking up the carbon dioxide, and in the winter, they've lost their leaves, and so they won't be taking up any carbon dioxide. In the southern hemisphere, we don't see that. Most of the stations are oceanic. And so the southern hemisphere carbon dioxide concentrations are a lot more constant, except around the equator and a little bit south of the equator, where we get some data from Australia, South America and South Africa, and we can see a similar kind of bumping. Now we are going back in time from 1979 to 1958, using the Keeling data from Hawaii. We can see a steady increase in carbon dioxide over time with the seasonal fluctuations. Using ice core data, we can go back even further in time, and up to around about 20,000 years ago, carbon dioxide concentrations are nice and constant, as we'd expect because we were in the Holocene. But when we start to include the Vostok ice core data, the Epica Dome ice core data, and we go way back in time, we start to see huge fluctuations in carbon dioxide. So here's a list of all of the organizations and scientists who have contributed to creating this graph, and you can see it has been an enormous effort, but it tells the story very nicely. And for me, the most important story it tells is that it's a living ecosystem. Carbon dioxide concentrations wax and wane as the vegetation and the oceans take up and release. And we get the sense that we are part of a living macrocosm, of which we are just really a small bit, but